to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Mayegun live. As you are joining us this hour, please read beyond the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them all that Mayegun today, that Mayegun is live. And if you have done that already, thank you. And apologies if the picture is not that perfect on your screen. If it is not okay, I hope it gets better. All right. So tonight we are starting our, searchlight, the beam towards the ongoing siege laid on the people, communities and people of the southern part of Kwara State, the Fulani terrorists. Whenever we mention the hotspot in Nigeria, where these Fulani terrorists advanced terrorism, continue to take the lives of the innocent people. We mentioned the people of the south, the people of the middle belt of Nigeria, places like Plateau State, Benue State, Taraba, then you have Kogi, then you have Niger. But the hotspots mainly that have been in the news most of the time have been the Plateau and Benue, mostly Benue. But Kwara has been bleeding in the arms of these terrorists. Communities have resorted to forming their own security outfit to defend themselves, just in case if those of us who are the champions of self-defense, just so you know. So they formed their own security outfit, vigilante group, to provide security and also to respond whenever there are any attacks. And guess what? The terrorists in Kwara State now, the terrorists have now focused more on eliminating the key figures, in this their security outfit. So what that paints, or the picture that paints, is clear, right? The people are on their own. They do not have the expected protection of their own government. Those in government don't want to look bad, or better still, they don't want Tiknumbu or APC to look bad. So these stories, these victims and their stories barely, right, make it to their news media. And wherever or whenever they manage to make it to the news media, they are just like other news that people just, head and just move on. Something that APC, the damage that APC, what they have done to these Nigerians in the last 10 years. Nigeria is bleeding. Nigeria is not at war, but hundreds, thousands are being killed in that country. But what is the reaction of their own political leaders, including the ruling party? Nonchalant. And it's mostly, or their concern is mostly about the next election, why this is ongoing. Now, in the recent time, take a look at this image. You see these people on your screen? These are victims of these Lakurawa terrorists. These are young men that volunteered to defend their different communities, right, in Kwara State. Now, about 4 or 5 local government areas are in Kwara South especially, right, are suffering these endless killings. and underreported too. So something happened today. I'll tell you more about the victims at the point. So something happened yesterday rather in Lafiagi, another community, Angono, in Edu local government area of Kwara State. When the people of this community took their own sort of like rage out on the NDLEA office in their community, they blamed them. How could you be in our community and you couldn't even come to our rescue whenever these terrorists, and you're even here, you are like insignificant, kind of, yeah? But this is not something that started yesterday. It's been ongoing. And you will think a change of guard, like in so many places, change of guard from Bokwari, the Fulani, to Tipnumbu, an alleged Yoruba, right? That there should be a change in the approach or the fight against these terrorists. And there is at least should be an ought towards, to their advancements. But no, what they have done, what APC, Ebekebe, what they have done is to ensure that their stories are never heard. They never make it to the headlines enough to pressure them to act or be punished for not acting. Most people who have been bold enough to share the stories in public, they have been persecuted in private and in public by the same government that is supposed to provide security for them. While on the other hand, their own governor and most of their politicians are everywhere endorsing Tifnumbu, endorsing themselves too. Why these people are being taken out one after the other. So they burned down the NDLEA office. Their stories are indeed very much heartbreaking. When I talk about these victims, for example, right? They said, which is like, this one happened today. Ifelodun, Babanla community. There's a community called Babanla community in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State. All right? That the terrorists have been operating before this news broke this early in the morning, right? The terrorists operated overnight. I shared a video with us last night to see what it was like, or what it's like, when terrorists attack your community, and how these communities have been so exposed, vulnerable to these terrorists. It's just a tick for them. Because nobody is coming to defend them. Nobody is coming as for counterattack. And where they have their vigilantes, they themselves have now become easy target for these terrorists, right? Babanla community in Ifelodun local government area. Meanwhile, yesterday, right, which is also another local government area, okay? This one is in Edu local government, right? It said a community, they said bandits and security forces engaged in gunfire. The security forces are the vigilantes, not necessarily the police or the military, right? So they said in this, the security forces in the community called Gada Aworo, right? Along Patigi Road, near Bubu town in the Edu local government area in that same Kwara State, an engagement with this terrorist. Now, another community, you see this man, this man, the terrorists killed him, okay, in a village called Lile Village in the same Patigi local government area of Kwara State. This was about a week ago. They killed him, killed his son. He made it to the news, but their killers are never to be caught, arrested, or tried. And in cases where they get arrested, yeah, they will be freed, because once they claim to have repented, that is it. Again, not that they are not telling their stories. Like recently, this last month of June, here is a king, a king, Olupo of Ajashepo, in Kwara State, sharing their experience in the hands of these terrorists, including the supposed government's response. This video, the credit for this clip goes to the Odua TV. They have a lot on this matter. If you want to probably follow it up and see more of what people are passing through, especially in the Yoruba part of Kwara State. It is an ongoing, steady cleanup, like massacre, just like in other places, but less coverage. Olupo of Ajashepo.
Go to Oko. Once it's 6 o'clock, everybody will rush in. A few weeks ago, the yellow jack of Oko was kidnapped. Ola, the same story. Omana, that one is even like on daily basis. We want to appeal to government, for God's sake, to help us. Honestly speaking, I make bold to say that the traditional institution, we are working very hard. In fact, we task ourselves. The first class amongst us, including this Baba and all of us, the first class amongst us, we contributed 250,000 naira each. The second class, 150,000. The third class, 100,000. Fifth class, 70 or so. Some of us even contributed more than the amount allotted to our classes to be able to make some provisions for these people. There is no way we as a people can fight this cause without government support. Because these devilish, ungodly people in the bush, they go around with a more sophisticated ammunition. So we just have to encourage our vigilantes to work. Some of them are discouraged. At times when some of them are arrested, they will go and face murder charge alone on their own. But I commend particularly the SA here on issues of this nature. Anytime we call him, he will rise to the occasion to make sure that whoever is involved is released. He's done it several times. But sincerely speaking, as a people of Igbominna land, we are not happy and we can't hide it any longer. This situation has lingered for only God knows how long. It has lingered for so long. We are not happy. So we want to sincerely appeal to His Excellency through your office to please issue a directive for immediate dispatch of those vehicles away from the local government secretariat headquarters. Those vehicles are not doing anything there. Those motorcycles are not doing anything in the local government secretariat. Those vehicles are bought from our taxes. And those vehicles are meant to be put to use for the protection of our lives and properties. We don't pray for a repetition of the situation of what happened to Onikoro.
No, God forbid.
We don't pray for that. And I am telling you most sincerely and frankly speaking, don't let anybody deceive you. Most of the KBSCs in the fellow they live at Ilori. Most of the KBSCs in the fellow local government, most of them cannot stay at home again. Most of them stays at Ilori. They left home. It took us to begin to beg Allah to come home from Lagos. Because the man knows clearly that he is a target. It has gone so bad that these people will even have the gut to write to some of our colleagues here. We are coming so day. They are at one time or the other written to Omupo that they are coming. What type of situation is this? This is not what we meant. So we are saddened. We are not happy. Our situation is covered by the different robes we put off. We couldn't sleep to act any longer. I must be honest with you. We call this meeting not because we know that this will happen to Jagu. No. We call an emergency meeting to come around again. In fact, we are using our resources out of nothing to make sure that things are working. Our people can no longer go to farm. Honestly, I swear by the name of God Almighty that I worship, our people are running away from going to farm. And if I tell you about the law, wàhálà dé nìyẹn. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kẹ́ bá wa jíṣẹ́ fún gómìnà pé ẹ bá wa nínú ìbànújẹ́, ọkàn wa gba ọgbẹ́, inú wa ò dùn. The situation in Kwara South, particularly in Igbominna land, we are not happy at all. And we think that this government is our government. and they have said it times without number, the traditional institution under my domain, under our watch, we are for the government of the day 100%. The Central Nation has no reason to doubt at all that we are for him. And we have done everything to display, to show, to confirm to the authority that we are 100%. If there is anything called 101%, we are for government. Then government will come to our aid. All of these that I have said, we have appealed to authority to help us. The situation should not get to if you go to Oko, you will be surprised that this is a community. By 6, everybody, they are in house.
And it's a university there.
And there's a university there. In fact, only today, Dr. Thomas Adeyemi was in the meeting at Ajase with us. He donated 10 million naira, was that not?
Yes.
To contribute to the money. We are not also sleeping. We are not also sleeping on our part. But the machinery to do this work more better is with government. There are certain things as a people we cannot do. There are certain things as a people we cannot be seen to carry them. It's illegal by law. Because ours is a society regulated by law.
Now, if you listen to all of that, I think most of what I'm going to say next should possibly make sense to you. Not just that, they should get you thinking. Now, that person speaking is a king. And he's not just a king, a Gbomina land, which is also Yoruba land, right? Is also a very, very significant, historically and all that, part of a Yoruba land. And when you see a king that is being looked up to by tens of thousands of people in the crisis like this, right? And then you get to see him in front of one political appointee or representative. So please, we've done everything. But by everything, it means everything allowed by law. The law that limited the ability of citizens to defend themselves. But that same law is almost like non-existent for the Fulani terrorists who goes about with assault rifles in the open. And not only that they are carrying them in the open, they are committing crimes, that they are killing people. But the law is not applicable to them. Now, a king, a crowned king in Yoruba land and all lands where the terrorists are currently operating, is right there in front of a political appointee begging to say, help us. Many of us no longer even go back to their communities. Like kings are abandoning their own people. People abandoning their farms. Kings abandoning their own people, the communities, relocating elsewhere because of security. And then these kings have to say, we support you. If you are doubting, because, they may think, oh, Shebi, you are not supporting the government. And now, if the terrorists want to kill you, may then kill you. That is the situation of Nigeria. So the statement of, hey, we are with the government 100%. And, everything you want, we support you. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters right now. We just want to be safe. Begging people who told you that they would protect you if you give them your mandate. That's some effed up human. You know what I mean? Like, that is the part of the unrealness I'm talking about in that contraption. So those people, the people that the people are looking up to, right? In the real sense of it, they are as powerless as the people that caused them kings. That's my own conclusion. And when things get to that stage, now little by little, when these same people will feel like, yeah, or will realize it and realize that they also don't even have governments. They have chancers, opportunists, pickpockets, con men, and women. So what happened in Lafiagi is the reaction of the frustrated people. But again, most of the actions of the frustrated Nigerians are mostly wrongly directed. Do you get what I mean? So in this case, they burned down the office of the NDLEA in their community. Where's that clip? Here.